What's going on, guys? Cameron back again with Attack on Anime with
Jordan.
And we're going to be doing a fairy tale theory prediction. Now, with this fairy tale theory prediction, we're both being really excited to get to this. Jordan just got caught up on all the chapters he fell behind on. So we're getting this out just to start off before we start doing our weekly reviews on the manga. Now, what we're going to start doing with this, so if you're not caught up on the manga, heavy spoiler alert right here. Like,
yes.
We're going to be talking pretty deep into a lot of things that have been playing into it lately. So with this theory, we're going to talk about pretty much what's the ultimate end game on the Zeref. I'm going to call it the Zeref War, because that's pretty much what it is. So with this war with Zeref, what is the ultimate end? Because as we've seen in the latest chapters, Natsu doesn't have that power that he inherited from Emil anymore, because he couldn't, when he exerted it and couldn't use it because Happy stopped him, Zeref said that was your one chance
to kill him then.
Like, it wasn't even a guarantee that it was going to kill me, but that was your best chance at killing me, because I know nobody else on your side can do it. Only Natsu can kill me.
Yep.
And now we know that Natsu is passed out probably from exerting too much magical energy just from that small encounter with Zeref. So we know just from that small encounter with Zeref, if it was enough to tire out Natsu, we know no one else on their side can do it. So what is the ultimate end of how they'll defeat him? And we both kind of have the same idea. We kind of have a little differing opinion on how they'll use it, but ultimately we think that Luminous Store, also known as Fairy Heart, will be the ultimate way that they'll defeat them. Because even Makarov said this is Fairy Tail's like ultimate secret. This is our ultimate weapon. Like, this is the Alvarez Empire tried to come into Ishgard to take this from us because it's that important to them. And I feel like because that's the ultimate key to defeating Zeref, and as you know, they came real close to using it in the Tartaros arc, but they didn't, because in the end, the dragons came in and helped them all to succeed in winning, but they came real close to using it. Now, we don't know what it does, we just know that it has limitless magical power. And they said it could be used to power the Eterios cannon, which was used in the Tower of Heaven arc when they fought Jalal and they shot that cannon at it. And it said if that was powering it, it could shoot off that endlessly. But since they don't have that Eterios cannon anymore, and they also don't have face anymore, they're just like, okay, we have Fairy Heart. And that's their ultimate weapon. So I feel like that's the only thing that they have left to actually go after Zeref. Now I feel like how they're going to use it, I feel like maybe Natsu can do what he did against Jalal and eat a piece of it and gain all that power into his body and go Dragon Force and essentially do whatever all-out attack he was planning to do against Zeref earlier with Emil's power, and defeat him that way. Because that's the only realistic way I can see it. Because I feel like it's going to come down to Natsu and Zeref, of course, because that's just the ultimate final battle. And that's the only way I can see Natsu actually generating that power. But I feel like because it's such limitless power, once he exerts it all, it'll pretty much kill all the magic in his body, and Natsu will ultimately die. Because even Zeref said, if I die, Natsu, you'll die too, because you're from my book. Like, I brought you back using this demonic power. So I feel like ultimately in the end, that's how it's gonna end with Natsu and Zeref. He's gonna use Fairy Heart and generate it into one all-out attack, killing him and Zeref all together.
No, yeah, like I said, our predictions are similar, but I feel like Mavis is going to play a major role in this at some point. I feel like in turn she's going to sacrifice herself, because I assume she wants to die too. She's basically Zeref in a female body. So at some point I feel like they're going to use Fairy Heart to somehow disengage the curse on Natsu, because they're linked together. Like, when Zeref harmed the book, it actually harmed Natsu as well. They have some type of connection together. And Zeref said, like Cam said previously, if you kill me, you die as well. And since it's Fairy Tail, Natsu's way too popular of a character, and he's basically the poster child of Fairy Tail. I don't think they're going to kill him off yet. It would be cool if they did kill him off in the end and they have some final battle, but I don't think he's gonna die just based off of that. The power of friendship is gonna come in at some point, and they're gonna give up half their life force to bring Natsu back from the dead or something like that.
I can see it happen.
But Natsu is a demon, so also that leads me to believe him and Gray are gonna have some confrontation, because you already know Gray has some vendetta and revenge against demons anyway, and Gray's ultimate goal is to destroy END. No one knows what END actually stands for, which stands for Ethereal Natsu Dragon. So once Gray finds that out, that's going to add on a whole nother plot. And you know they're going to have their whole final battle and things like that. So Natsu can't die until they have their final fight. And another point I want to make is, I just feel like we're forgetting about Ignolia, one of the other main villains of the thing. Natsu took Ignolia's left arm. When Natsu unwrapped those bandages, I actually thought he was bringing out Ignolia's power, the power he stole from Ignolia, and he used that. We don't even know what power he took from Ignolia or what that arm contains. Or maybe he has Ignolia's power or something hidden deep within him. We don't know yet. We really don't. And to see that come out to play, that's going to be really interesting, because for some reason, Zeref felt Ignolia as a threat. Somebody that's immortal saying that, yeah, I need to take you out at some point, that speaks volume as well. So if Natsu can harness that power already with his indomitable stamina, and the fact that he can just absorb things and take it together, kind of like what he did with Laxus and the Thunder, Fire, Dragon power, I feel like the Igneal power confused together could probably defeat anything on that continent. So
another thing, like piggybacking off a few things that he said, like that Gray versus Natsu conflict that I'm pretty sure we're bound to get, because even I was caught up on the manga from a while ago, but I also watched the anime. And rewatching the anime that just ended, the Tartaros arc in the anime, seeing that confrontation between him and Gray when they were standing up against Margear, and Natsu was told by Igneal, get that book, don't destroy it, do not destroy it under any circumstance. You need to get that book and bring it to me. And Gray, inheriting his father's power of demon slaying, came in and was just like, no, that book needs to go. My dad told me that book is bad news. It means nothing but bad news. So I feel like that's kind of alluding to that ultimate conflict. And like he said, no one knows what END means except for now Natsu and Zeref and, you know, Happy, because Happy was there. But I feel like once Gray finds out, it's gonna add that extra layer, because it's gonna be like, what is Gray gonna do? Is Gray gonna go against his best friend and fight his best friend because of his father's will? Or is he gonna team up with Natsu to take out Zeref and then settle that later? It just adds a whole different layer and aspect to it. It's just like, what ultimately is he gonna decide to do? And I feel like Gray, he was so strongly against END and the Tartaros arc, I feel like that won't really change, because even after the year time skip before the Alvarez Empire invaded, he was still on that mission to go out and find END to destroy it. So I feel like now it's so ingrained, it's a mission for him. He needs to destroy it because he knows that if his dad's dying wish was for this thing to be eradicated, he needs to get rid of it. And I feel like that will ultimately come to that final conclusion, that final battle, the rivalry that's been building since the beginning. Because they've been rivals since the beginning, but it was like a friendly rivalry. But now it'll turn into like this camaraderie where it's just like, I know we're friends, but we may have to fight now because you're END, like you're that thing that my dad warned me about that could damage everything. It could wreck everything. And I just feel like at this point it's too ingrained in Gray's mind to change back on that now just because it's his friend.
exactly.
He even went so far as to, when Fairy Tail was disbanded after the Tartaros arc, he didn't even really want to come back to Fairy Tail. He was just like, I'm on my mission now. Like, you guys can pretty much do whatever, but the circumstances brought him back to where the threat was too great. And I just feel like without that threat, he'd still be on his mission to go hunt down and destroy END.
Well, that's me and Cameron's prediction for Fairy Tail. We both have different ideas, but the same similar general consensus of how they're going to stop Zeref. So let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think Fairy Heart is going to have some big role in it? Do you think Natsu is going to die in the end? Is Gray going to fight Natsu towards the end upon finding out he's the true nature of END? What do you guys think? Let us know.
Another question I want to pose to you guys that I definitely want to hear in the comments below. If this Gray versus Natsu fight actually happens, who do you think will win? Because even I posed this question to Jordan, because if you think about it, Natsu is technically a demon. Gray has demon slaying magic. So even if Natsu is as strong as he is, and keep in mind, he lost that power that Igneal gave to him. So keep that in mind. But even as strong as Natsu is against demon slaying magic, we saw what he did to Marv Gear. Even Marv Gear was scared out of his mind once he saw how powerful Gray had become. And he's become even more powerful since then. But that's just a question I want to pose to you guys to get some good conversation going in the comments below. But don't forget to comment below, subscribe, share us around with your friends who like anime and want to pose different theories. Theory craft in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video, guys. But until the next time, guys, peace.